All right, my friends. So I'm stoked, dudes. Stoked. I did my video earlier today. Monetary economics 101. Maybe a little bit long. A couple times I repeat myself a little bit. It's a good video. Proud of it. Proud of it. Your old buddy Josh. The thing that comes to mind, which is illuminating and wonderful, is the decline of the velocity of money. And I think what has happened, now this is huge, and I think it's freaking awesome. I think people saw with their very own eyes what happened in 2007 and 8 and how leverage just destroyed livelihoods. Leverage. 2001, 01, and 2 didn't have the same impact as 2008. I think 2001, because of September 11th, it was easy to sweep under the rug the economic insanity that happened previous to that. But be that as it may, we got hit again in 2008, and I think that woke people up. They said, ooh, I'm not doing that again. We began to see the decline in velocity of money in 1997, actually, but I think that was just further cemented what happened in 2008, the liability and the risk of leverage. So when the velocity of money is going down, that just means you can freaking give away the loans. People aren't going to take it. Literally, they're saying, I don't care if your loan is 0%. I'm not going in debt again. Not going to happen. Because I still owe you something. And as long as I owe you something, I am in your service, without question. So we're seeing a velocity of money just falling off the shelf. It's fantastic. Obviously, one of the reasons for that, probably the biggest reason, frankly, is the baby boomers getting older and they're just not borrowing. Not borrowing because they're getting older. They're content in their homes. They're not taking on new debts. They're not they're just not upgrading. They're just not. They might be downsizing and paying off debt. Anyway, so that is happening. But I also think a lot of younger people aren't, and we're seeing this actually. The FIRE movement is one thing, but I think that's kind of minimal. But also just the amount of debt that the younger generations have accumulated for student loans. Now, I said all the time, debt is deflationary, but they're just saying, maybe it's wishful thinking. I don't think so. They're saying, I'm not taking on your stupid debt so I can be your corporate lackey and be told what to do in corporate America. And corporate America includes big education, big Ed Inc., and big government Inc. It's all one big corporation, dudes. So they're saying, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to take your debt. If I got to stay at my house until I'm 30, I will. Maybe I'm lazy, maybe I'm not. But I'm not taking your debt, so I will have to serve you and have to get jabs, have to listen to the woke crap, and I don't even care what it is. I mean, I'm just using that from my perspective. Maybe they're completely different. Maybe they say, I won't take your debt, so I don't have to listen to your profit and loss statement. I don't know. But they're like, I'm not doing it. And that's great, because if you don't take debt, a slave you are not. A slave you are not. Also, I think people are, and it's not even like a back to the earth thing like the hippies. I just think people are saying, hopefully, and this might be wishful thinking, I don't need all the crap that's put in front of me, these carrots. Oh yeah, just buy another phone, buy another car, buy another tennis shoes, buy. If it means I got to go into debt. And the reason I think that, and why it's valid, is because I know for a fact that there is some heavy debt that these kids coming out of college have, a younger generation than mine. And the velocity of money is way, way down. I don't expect it going up anytime soon. And I also think they saw what my generation went through, which is heavy amount of debt to get that mortgage, 5% down payment, 95% loan to value, work like a slave, get fat, have high blood pressure, many of which died at 58, 60 years old, you know what I'm saying, miserable, divorced, drinking a lot, all that stuff. They said, I don't want to do that. And then they saw what happened, or heard, but I probably saw what happened maybe in their own families in 2008, the leverage. On top of that, you throw in the COVID crap, and people say, I don't want to be mandated for your stupid stuff. I don't want to be lied to by a corporation. Why the hell would I freaking go to a corporation that mandates what I have to put in my body? Well, you have to if you got a debt. Just like Dick, what the hell's his name, man? Dick Darman, I think. Not Dick Durbin, but Darman was the OMB director under George H.W. Bush. And he was a clown show. It was he or one of his colleagues under George H.W. Bush, it might have even been George H.W. Bush himself, who said, we don't want ideologues on my team. We want people with a mortgage, because people with a mortgage we can't control. Ideologues, they work for a higher power. We don't want that. We want people heavy in debt because we can control them. If we say kneel, they'll say, yes, sir. Just make sure I got my payment, my salary, so I can pay off my debt. I can pay off my mortgage. Think about it. We're seeing surveys now that college at Big Ed Inc. is looked at very, very poorly across the board. It's fantastic. Because they lied. We know that for a fact. Obviously, government is looked at very poorly because they lie. We know that for a fact. Corporate America is looked at poorly because they lie. We know that for a fact. Why would you want to go in debt so you have to serve these people? Well, Josh, that means I'll have to wait a few more years. I won't be able to buy a house like my dad did at 22. Oh well. I mean, I didn't get married till I was 29, my friends. Didn't have my first kid till I was 30. We bought our house when I was 28. But again, I did the old-fashioned way. I freaking heavily leveraged. I had a mortgage, and I said, damn, I'll do what these guys say so I can get my paycheck to pay off that mortgage. If I didn't have that mortgage, I wouldn't have had to do that. I.e., if I had saved to buy my house outright, I would have had a hell of a lot more freedom than I would have to take the path I took. It's hard to do that. I completely grant you. It's hard to do that. But if you stay at home to 25, 30, whatever, or you buy a mortgage in a smaller house, you don't upgrade just because, oh my goodness, instead of affording $4 for every $1,000 I borrow, I can afford $5 for every $1,000 I borrow with his upgrades. Yeah, you'll be tied to that for the rest of your life with no freedom. So we're seeing this. On top of that, we know the bulk of the vast majority of healthcare expenses go to basically 5 to 10% of the population. Those with diabetes and hypertension. I'm not quite sure people recognize how much that sector of society costs of healthcare. However, if you don't want huge healthcare bills, the best way to do that is to stay in good shape. Go for a walk. Watch what you eat, obviously. I'm a victim of that myself. But still, the vast majority of healthcare costs, let's put it this way, a high percentage of healthcare costs goes to a very small percentage of the population. So, if you're worried about healthcare costs, don't have diabetes and hypertension, watch what you eat. Take a walk, get some exercise, get some vitamin D, smile, get a good night's sleep, quit drinking, quit smoking, all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? Don't take a heavy debt load, if any debt at all. Drive an older car. Get married, stay married. It's okay to get a job that's labor intensive, especially when you're starting out. When you're young, you have the skill set, i.e. the physical manpower to do labor jobs. Learn. So that way you can move up and become your own boss, building houses, running air conditioning units, whatever it is. Installing chicken coops. Use this time wisely. Save, save, save. Try not to borrow. I think people are getting it. I just don't think that spending is, I just think there's a lack of spending. I mean, again, it might be wishful thinking. When you see the velocity of money charts, the highest it was in 1997 and just declining ever since significantly. And we're talking huge. It's basically a third what it was in 1997. That means the bank can loan you all the money in the world. It doesn't matter. You're not borrowing. I just think the debt-based society we've been living on since basically after World War II is coming to an end. We're going to be like Japan. Low interest rates, low growth, low unemployment. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what Japan has in terms of, are they without on various things like what we have, like, you know, here in America. You know, we got washers and dryers. You know, we don't have dryers, clothes dryers in our kitchen like they do in the UK. You know what I'm saying? We got air conditioning. I don't know what they have in Japan. But we have a lot of comforts that lots of the rest of the world doesn't have, and yet they seem to be doing okay. And I'm not saying I want to get rid of air conditioning. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, maybe though, we've reached an apex of the creature comforts, and we can kind of level off here, maybe like Japan has done. Again, I don't know that for sure. I just know they have low growth, low unemployment, low inflation. And I don't know what that means for their day-to-day stuff that we have here in America. I do know UK and lots of places in Europe, they don't have anything like we have because America kicks ass. But maybe we're starting to say, yeah, I think we might have enough. Maybe we don't need that much more from what we currently have. Maybe we should be content and not take on debt to buy more. All right, anyway, that's my thoughts. Love to hear yours. We'll see you.